Hello everybody, I hope you are having a great time. Today in this very beautiful rainy day, I am going to talk about how I record my music, especially my guitar at home with minimum gears. I have to mention that this is not at all a professional tips video type. So this is just about how I record and how I learned to record my music. So let's go and see. This baby is what I am going to use to record my guitar. This is a Focusrite Scarlett Solo and is one of the most affordable sound cards in the market. It has only two inputs, one for microphone and one for guitar, and this one is what I am going to use to connect my guitar to my computer. Keep in mind that there won't be any effects or amplifier in the way to my computer.
Okay, this is the working environment of the FL Studio 12, and to start recording we need to open the mixer panel, and this is the icon. If you click on it, the mixer will appear here. As you can see, there are lots of channels to select and record our sound on them. What I am going to do is to select one of them, for example the first one, and rename it. The reason is, if you don't rename the channel, later when you are working on the sounds and mixing them, you will lose which channel is which, and that's a very big and annoying problem. To rename it, just right click on the channel and select rename and input your name. I'm going to name it guitar input. For every channel there is some kind of a rack at the right of the panel, and there you can add and apply effects to your sounds. At the top of it there is option to select your input. In this case my guitar is assigned to input 2, so I select input 2. At the bottom of every channel there is a button that if you click on it, it will turn to red and it will aim the channel for recording. So the channel will be ready to record your sound. As I said before, my guitar is directly connected to the sound card and to my computer, so there is no amp or no effect between my guitar and my computer, so the sound is raw and there is no kind of effects on the sound. And as you know, we love to play and record while there are some effects on our guitar sound. We can add effects and amps to the sound by selecting them or just dragging them from our VSTs and plugins here to the channel. But the problem is that if you do so and record your guitar sound, the recorded sound will be recorded with all the effects that you have applied to the channel. And this is a very big problem in mixing process. Why? Because when we are mixing our sounds, we need to have the ability to change or to remove or to add some effects to our sound. And if you record the sound with the effects that you have applied at the first place, you won't be able to change anything on the sound of your guitar. So what we are going to do is to select the next channel and rename it to, for example, amp. What I'm going to do is to add my effects and virtual amps to this channel instead. So when I record my guitar voice, I will have the raw sound and I can work freely on the sound later in the mixing process. Okay, first I choose my virtual amp VST, which is amplitude 4, and apply it to this channel. As you can see, I haven't choose any kind of input for this channel. The input is only for the first channel and the channel that you are going to record. Okay, I have created some presets for myself and I can freely choose them from here. You can choose any kind of amp that you like. Now, if I start playing, the sound of my guitar would be like this. And I don't like that, because when I am playing and I'm recording, I like to feel the way I play and the sound of my guitar. So what I'm going to do is to connect this channel, that is my guitar input channel, to the effect channel. As you can see at the very bottom of all the channels, there is some kind of a wire that connects the channels to the master channel or the main channel. So if I disconnect this wire, there won't be any sound from that channel. What I'm going to do is to take this wire and connect it to my effect channel like this, just by clicking on this triangle here. Now I have created a signal chain that starts from the guitar input and goes to the channel of my effects and then goes exactly here to the master channel. The good thing is that when I record this channel, my guitar input channel, there won't be any effect on the recorded sound. But in the other hand, I have my effects assigned to the sound of my guitar so that I can hear a good sound, a decent sound, to play better and record a better track. Keep in mind that the effects that are applied to this channel, my amp channel, won't be recorded, and it is just for hearing what I am playing. Now the sound of my guitar would be like this. This is what I call a guitar sound for a metal riff. Okay, before we go and record our guitar, we need to remember two things. First, it is better to select the path or the direction of our file, our recorded file, so that we can find it easily later. And the second one is, don't forget to tune your guitar before recording. To select the path of our recording file, we need to deselect the record button and then right click on it, and as you can see, this window appears and you can select the direction of your file. Okay, here I create a folder for my recordings and I name it records. I select the folder and then I name my first file. For example, test 1, and click save. This will prevent you from losing the direction of your file, Believe me, I have done it before and I regret it very much. So just remember to select the path of your file first. And finally, to start recording your part, you need to select this button, which is the recording button, and then click on this button, or just push the space key on your keyboard to start recording. I highly recommend to select your metronome button before you start recording so that you can hear the ticks and play exactly on the beats. Okay, let's go and record our guitar sounds. Okay, now if you go to the playlists panel by clicking on this icon, you will see the recorded file that have been put here on the playlist. Before playing it, always remember that you have to deselect the recording button. Otherwise, if you play the file, it will start recording another file underneath the file that you are playing. So remember to deselect this recording button. If you select the channel rack by clicking on this icon, you can see that there is a channel here that belongs to your recording. If you select it, you can see that the file is saved by this name at the direction or the path that you have selected. Underneath this window, you can see the waves and the file that you have recorded. Before doing anything on this file, we need to assign the recording to a channel. It is better to assign it to another channel, like channel 3 in the mix. So if you go back to the channel panel, you can see that your file have been assigned to this channel, channel 3. As you can see, it is written at the left side of the file. Now if I play the recording file, you will hear this. As you can hear, the sound is raw and there is no effect on it. This is actually what we really wanted. The next step is to apply a noise gate on our file. You know better that the worst enemy of recording an electric guitar is the noise. So to remove the noise from our file, we need to go to the channel rack and select the channel of our recorded file and right click on this part and select edit. It will open the Edison VST, which is a built-in VST in the FL Studio, and you can do lots of things with this VST. The most useful thing that you can do with this is to remove the noise. To do so, first select a part of your file, a part of your sound that is only contain the noise part, like this area. Just select it by holding the left click of your mouse. Then select this icon, which looks like a brush or something, and it will open the noise gate window. and there you have to press this button, which is named Acquire Noise Profile. It will create a map of your noise for a noise gate to recognize it and remove it. So I press this button. Now for applying noise gate on the file, you have to select all the file just by selecting the file with your mouse or pressing Ctrl+A on your keyboard. Then you click on the brush button again, and now you can see that the noise gate have created some kind of a map for your noise. Now you can change the amount of noise gate or the threshold here and then press accept. After a second or two, the noise of your sound will be gone. After applying the noise gate to the file, we need to send it back to the playlist by clicking on this icon here. Now we go back to the playlist, and as you can see, the second file has been added to the playlist. The first one is the raw file, and the second one is the file that we have applied noise gates on. We just remove the first one because we don't need it. And then we go back to the channel rack and assign the new file to the mixer. We can simply delete the first one by right-clicking on the file name and select delete. Just be careful, because once you delete it, it is gone. I recommend to change the name of the file so that you can find it easily. For example, I'll name it riff. You can change the color of the channel by clicking on the color and select the color that you like. For example, this red one. Okay, let's go back to the mixer by clicking on the icon. Now we have to apply our desired effect to this channel. At first, usually I add an EQ on the channel, and I have also a preset for my guitar, and this is it. Let's add our amplifier VST just by dragging the VST from the left panel to the effect rack. Okay, now I select my amplifier, which is this one. And as you can see, there are lots of parameters that you can change, from the effect pedals to the amps and to the cabinets, and at last to the effect racks. Of course, you can add your own pedals and own effects to the signal chain after your guitar and before going into the sound card. But I highly recommend that you leave the time-based effect like delay and reverb, and of course the modulation effects. You can add them here at the effect racks after the amplifier and the cabinets. Okay, after changing the setting on the amplitude VST, you can play the sound again and hear the difference.
I hope this video would help you to create a decent demo for your music and have a good picture to work on later at the studio. Please take time to take a look at my videos, and if you like them, please subscribe to my channel. Stay safe and keep playing guitar.